Hi, hello, this is Bernat, and I made the WTFood, and I'm going to go through the digital prototype, all the components, and how you can use them, how you can install them, and how all this thing works. Here we have the app, the WTFood.eu, and here we have different systems running on. No? So the first is that you can upload one image. If you are in mobile, it opens the camera, and then it detects which kind of food or vegetable is in there, and then it generates a video based on some conditions, and it describes a little story, give you 3 links to take action to this thing, right? And also there's this map that you can explore, and then we can sort. So we can say that this prototype has six parts, right? The first component, which would be first the photo capturing and contextual labeling. This means we are able to take a photo seamlessly and from the phone or from the desktop, label, understand what's in there, and also understand where it comes from, in which location. Then we have the other part, which is the story building and link crafting. No, this is exactly with all these agents and issues on the food system that we have defined, and this is modifiable, this is customizable. Create this story and bring links to relate it to what we are mentioning. The visualizer component, which is this workflow, let's say I just turn from one image to this morphing story. And then the other component, which is quite interesting, is these cards. It's the way of that we can visualize these things. So these units of media, that it has the video inside and it generates this shareable link and all this, and which it has the text inside and the links. And the other component is this grid, this growing map that we can communally explore and build little by little, tile by tile. The last component is the sorting, which is this system to arrange the cards or the media according to the similarities to these 2 axes. This is 0 to 1 and 0 to 1. Here we can try another sorting, and then we can navigate all this complexity in another way. So I'm going to go through how this thing is made. So here we have in the About page, what is that? Yeah, exactly. So we have all this code here in GitHub. And currently is in this URL. You can find it in our About page. If ever this changed, then it will be notified there. Basically, the only thing that we need to do here is just copy this to your local machine or to your server, edit one file and one environment variable, and you are set to go. But before that, I want to explain what's the structure, right? So how this has been made. That's the flow, no? The conceptual structure, the inputs, the system, and the output. So we have the image, as we said, and then we have this classifier, the food, the IP location, and then we generate the image, which is this using a gradual controlnet. And then with that image in parallel with a language model, we create the title and the description, what we want to talk about it, and the action links, which is quite interesting because we use a system that it's called langchain to have the whole conversation. And in between, we put an API of tavily, which enables us to go to the internet and not only search the links, but retrieve the content inside those links and then bring it back to the language model, pick up and recompose all this information and give the links to the source, right? And then, as we mentioned, then we have this media, the next steps, the video, and the navigational environment, which is the map and sorting. So technically, this is the structure, right? So we have one part, which is the WTFood server. It works as an API and it runs as in Python. And then we rely on, for the image generation, we rely on ComfyUI, which is a standalone package that you can have installed. And then we have our custom workflow for this environment that it generates the videos. Then as external public APIs for the language model, we do it with OpenAI to generate the article, the text, and tavily to make the query and search the internet and get the links back to the API. So with this, we can compose all these images. And then the thing is, are stored in a SQLite, and then you can call it. And then the other component, the one that is on the client side, is where the user interacts, is the website with its HTML5, CSS3, and JavaScript. and this interacts with the API. It just calls it and displays all the content. So I'm going to show you how to work with this. Right. So here is the code itself, which is basically it has one part which is the backend and the other which is the interface. In the backend, when you install all these things, there's one main thing that you need to edit, which is these environment variables. That here you have where the ComfyUI is running, which normally is the same server, but you could have it somewhere else, let's say with the port, and your database where all the things is being stored and where the media is being saved, right? The videos and the things. Then the other part is the APIs for OpenAI and tavily for search, right? And also inside the backend, one of the important file is this one, the language model configuration, where here we have the prompts, the instructions of how we want this language model to behave. So it can, here what we have is that it randomly picks some stakeholders and some issues every time it runs. And then the system has a role that is expert on socioeconomic issues in the food system. And it can instruct if search the internet or not search the internet, and then return what we ask, which in this case is first the article from the stakeholder perspective, reflect on the issue that is in hand, and also take in consideration the food that has been identified in the video, and explain this issue from that perspective. Then the title, we give it a nice title, so that's why when you load here, so for example, let's take this one, the title has this kind of easy reading with some emoji, and so that's all these things. Better mask and this one, let's see, trade wins, how policy shapes zucchini journey, right? So that's in here, that's in the title. So, and then also the visuals. So here we build the prompt to make these images, right? So these are the two files that you need to edit in the backend. Then in the front end, on the interface, which is, you just can download this to any web server. And it's this one, the global parameters. The global parameters, the only thing you need to do is just put where the API is running, and this is default, predefined sorting values. That also you could change that. So that's it. What I can do is show you how to install it. I'm here to this machine, to my machine, which I already have the ComfyUI running here on the background. Let me make this bigger for you so you can see. So I'm gonna git clone. Okay, so here we see that it starts to copy all these things. Okay, so everything is here. We can go inside backend. And here we can see that two important parts, which is the requirements. This is to install all the components needed to run the software. Requirements, perfect. And another important one is this one, install the ComfyUI dependencies, no? Bash install, and here goes and downloads all the components that we may not have installed. So that's this is because the morphing has been done with using some specific extensions from ComfyUI, and then this script downloads all them to make sure that anybody that installs this is able to use the same workflow. So let's list the environment, how it is. So that's what it comes. You should have your own API for the language model and for search. But in my case, because I already have it on my environment and I'm recording a live thing, so I'm not going to use it, right? Good. So from now, I could say Python main.py, and then the app would be running. That's it. Perfect. So now we have that the server is running at this link, which of course is my local machine, and now we don't have it. But if I copy this thing here and I launch, let's go inside the interface, and let's go inside the global parameters. Okay, I added this global parameters here in the text file, and I changed this one for where this thing is running, which is my machine, right? Save this thing. So now when I drop this file here, exactly perfect. We see the beginning of the map. So we have the system working. Perfect. Let me show you also the workflow. This is a ComfyUI, like the default. And here inside the backend, We have one folder which is workflows, and we have this one image to morph, because it's image plus text plus morph, and this is what we are using. And so I have a video going through detail on this, but this is something that you could also change some parameters here and then export it as an API and use it in your workflow. Okay, so let's back up. So we have this system, this is what it works, and these use cases or blocks that could be extracted or modified on that. Okay, so that's it. I hope you find it interesting, and everything is built for modularity and easy to use. So as you can see, it's very easy to deploy. You just copy everything there. You make sure you have all the dependencies, and you just change a couple of files, and that's how you can modify or make it your own. Okay, cool. I hope you like it. Bye.